Hi everyone! This video will be for the very beginners in coloring. I selected a page from the first book by Maria Trolle, Twilight Garden, and this page with the ugliest owl I've ever seen. But around it has a quite nice flower combo, so let's start from this page. And we will start from the question which is maybe the most terrifying for the beginners, from the background. My advice is if you don't know how to fill in the empty background, maybe you can simply try to limit it. And I quite often use this trick, especially in books by Maria Trolle. For example, if I would want to color a picture on the left page, I would simply draw a circle, some kind of frame around it, and I would color only inside of this circle. Or like I did in the second book by Maria Trolle, where I draw frames like some kind of portals, and it really helped me to easier color background. I think that when I add such kind of frame, it really helps picture to look like a real book illustration, and also it reduce size of the background. You need to color lesser area, and it's easier and quicker to color smaller backgrounds. That's why I started from drawing a frame around my owl. I selected this page for our tutorial not because I love the owl here. Honestly, it's not very attractive to say the least, but I really love flower and plant arrangement around it. I love dahlia flowers in all their variety of colors. I love oaks, and I thought that on this flower arrangement it will be easier for me to explain how I plan colors and how I try to get a well-balanced color composition and how I select colors for such complicated designs. So, next question which I always ask myself is which colors will match my idea of this page. As I said, I wanted to make a fall color combo. That's why I will need a lot of warm colors, and if I need to use greens, it will be not bright greens like we can see in spring, but yellow or brown green colors. And we have plenty of such colors in Prismacolor range, like moss green, marine green, and I wouldn't recommend to use bright green colors like spring green or apple green, for example. They are much more suitable for spring pictures. So we will need a lot of warm browns, yellows, orange and greens. Next, think how you can attract attention to the focal point of the page. And here the focal point is our owl. It's especially important when you have a picture with a lot of details like we have here. And from my previous experience, I have several ways of attracting attention to the main object or main character on the page. First one is use unique colors. Imagine if you have a picture with a lot of flowers, leaves, and one butterfly somewhere on the flowers. If you use pink on all flowers and green for all leaves, and blue only for the butterfly, of course the whole attention will go to this unique color. Next, you can make your main object very dark on the light background or vice versa, very light on the dark background. Maybe I will show it here. You can see that my fairies on this page from Villain Sun have quite unique colors. I used blue only for the fairies and not on any other element on the page. and also they are lighter than the dark background, and it also helped me to attract attention to the fairies when I added this light halo. Another example where I used unique colors for the main characters is here. You can see that I did the whole background in the warm yellow, green, orange colors, and when I used for the raccoons this primary bright red and bright blue colors, it really helped me to distinguish main characters from a very detailed background. And the third method of attracting the whole attention to the main character or main object is to do not very detailed background. Like here I did a background where shapes of trees aren't very sharp, they are a little bit blurry. But the main image is very detailed with sharp lines, and it also helped me to distinguish foreground from the background. I think that in our case I will do a quite colorful flower combination around all, and I will color all in quite dark brown colors, and we will see if it would be enough to draw attention to the all and not to lose it on such a colorful background, colorful surroundings. So the next logical step is to think which elements will be the brightest, which will be darkest, because you know that very bright or very dark objects always attract more attention, and which elements we can color in natural way. I love that in this flower vase we have a lot of repeating elements. I decided that I will do these big daisies in a very bright way. For the dahlias, I can use darker colors. Blueberries also will be dark. Hydrangea flowers are always light. And I think that oaks and mushrooms I will color in neutral way, something with pale brown, not very bright greens, and so on. Such complicated compositions always look better if you have a nice alternation between light and dark elements. It will create in the end nice well-balanced page. Next, I start to select colors for each element. And first, I try to use at least 2 or 3 shades of color for each of the element, and also I think which of the pencils I could use for coloring multiple objects. We have a huge variety of flowers and plants here, and I really don't want to make the whole page to be over bright. If I would use too many colors, it would really resemble a childish drawing. First, I select colors for the most important, most prominent objects on the picture, and in the same time, I think which colors, which pencils I could use to color other objects, which colors I could repeat. For the big daisies, I selected yellow and couple of orange shades. For hydrangea, I selected lilac and blue colors and a little bit of green. But I also plan to use the same green for coloring leaves, or lilac I will be also using for dahlia flowers. Also, I will need some pencils to do shading. And now my favorite colors are 90% French grey, 70% French grey, sepia, and of course black and yellow to do highlights, especially on the petals. I plan that I can use the same violet color for coloring dahlia petals, and for the blueberries, for the darker parts of each berry. Also, I can use one of the blue colors which I planned to use for hydrangea. Also for the blueberries and a lilac color, I can combine with violet and color dahlias. I can use brown colors for coloring oaks and mushrooms. So my advice is try to limit your color palette and to use one pencil multiple times. In this way, in the end, you will get more well-balanced color composition. Now I am ready to start actual coloring. I hope that some hints into my preliminary color planning was helpful to you, and I think that it's a really necessary beginning of each coloring, especially if you need to color a very detailed composition with a lot of various elements.